Eric, what is this storm all about? What's causing it?
Well, we have a phasing of the jet stream, unlike we've seen since the last crazy snowstorm, which was Snowtober, as you'll remember, right before Halloween. This is just about as record-breaking as that snowstorm was. Only maybe less than a handful of times, I would say, has the Northeast received this kind of snowfall this late in the season.
And Eric, I mean, you mentioned record-breaking. We're seeing records broken in everywhere from Virginia to even New York. What areas seem to be getting pounded the hardest, and what kinds of numbers are we looking at in terms of snowfall? I've heard up to 16 inches in some case.
Yeah, the highest reports we've received so far is about 10 inches or so near Ithaca, New York, but that was kind of in the middle of the night, and it's still snowing there. So I would imagine those 16 inches to verify in a lot of places in central New York and the mountains of Pennsylvania. In New York City, we had tropical storm force winds last night and about 3 or 4 inches of rain, which is helping to alleviate our drought.
Yeah, I felt that last night. Again, heavy winds, and that was causing some airport delays yesterday. Baseball games were canceled. I know the Mets were canceled. I'm not sure about the Yankees. They may have been too. Baseball games postponed in Washington. Eric, but in terms also of the effects, the weather effects that are causing this, what's the perfect storm that is triggered at this time around?
We have a very intense low pressure system that kind of formed in the Gulf of Mexico as a result of the phasing of the northern branch and the southern branch of the jet stream. And like I said, that really is kind of a normal thing that happens during the winter, but it hasn't happened at all so far this winter, which is why we've had so low amounts of snow so far in the Northeast this year. But moisture is being brought north as far south as.
And Eric, in terms of, you mentioned Snowtober. Now, we can't forget that. What happened at that point was we had this heavy, wet snow falling on trees that had not yet lost their leaves. Of course, what we have now are trees that have just grown their new leaves for spring, the snow falling on those. Do you expect we'll see the same sort of catastrophes we actually saw in many parts of the country, even here in New York, with these trees coming down, power lines coming down, power outages being widespread? I mean, I was out without power for 4 days in the Snowtober storm.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Connecticut had the largest power outage in history, in their state history, from that Snowtober storm. There have already been lots of reports of power outages in central New York. The last I checked, there was about 50,000 households that were without power. So it's still too early to know how long that power outages will last. But I would expect there to be significant damage, especially since we had a record warm March, which has helped those trees to bring their leaves sooner than normal.
Yeah, the trees are actually very, very full at this point. It would be pretty scary if we got a lot of snow on them again after what we saw in October. Let's switch tracks here. Record heat is what you're experiencing out in Arizona. Give us a feel for the temps you're seeing.
Yeah, riding my bike in this morning, I mean, at 7 a.m., it's already 95 degrees. So it's kind of normal for around here to feeling that heat, but not this early in the year.